In this video, we're going to be doing an in-depth step-by-step tutorial of how to use the Do-It-Yourself Investor Toolkit and showing you how to use all of the different features. Nothing will be left out. That's my intention. So to start off, if we go over to Tickerdata.com, if you're a premium member, you're going to get access to all the premium sheets in our premium sheet library. So we'll just click right here and you can see the entire library of premium sheets that's constantly growing. But the very first one here is our Tickerdata portfolio tracker. So if we click right here, you can see we're going to get the option to go to sheet and make a copy. So we'll click right here, go to sheet. And the first thing you'll notice is we have access to everything now, but the first thing you have to do is make a copy of the spreadsheet. So we'll come up here to file and click on make a copy, and we'll click right here. And so now that we've made a copy, we're going to be able to edit the spreadsheet. But if we come over here to investment dashboard, the first thing you'll notice is it's showing name right here. It's saying unknown function, and if we jump over to the stocks tab, you can see the same thing. So what's going on here? Well, we haven't logged into the Tickerdata function yet. So if we come up here to extensions, if you've already downloaded the Tickerdata add-on right here, you're just going to click on login. But if you haven't downloaded it yet, come up here to add-ons, click on get add-ons, and simply download the Tickerdata add-on. So we'll come over here to Tickerdata and click on login, and then we'll come down here and click on refresh and return to sheet. And once I've done that, you can see all this data is going to automatically load into our spreadsheet. So if we jump back over to the investment dashboard, you can now see all this data has automatically loaded in. Now, if you have any trouble whatsoever, you're still getting an error right after you download the spreadsheet. Sometimes that happens due to a Google issue. All you would simply need to do is try to re-log in one more time. And if you still have trouble, simply come up here to add-ons and click on manage add-ons, uninstall the Tickerdata add-on, and then reinstall it. And that should fix your problem. But now we can see we have our investor toolkit up and running now. So again, based off that data, everything seems to be loading in. But we still have our example data loaded in here. So we're going to remove our example data again. Just come over here and delete all of this. So you can now see we have a blank sheet. So what you're going to do now is you simply need to list the stocks in your portfolio, the amount of shares that you own, and the purchase price. So let's go ahead and build out our example portfolio. We'll come up here to simple, and let's say I have Apple stock and I own 10 shares at a purchase price of $150 a share. I'll hit enter, and again, all this data is going to automatically load in. So if we jump over to our investment dashboard, we can see Apple stock is now accounted for. We have our cost versus market value, we have our growth, we have everything listed here, and our total holdings is 1. So everything seems to be working properly. So let's go ahead and fill in some more example positions. Let's say we have Coca-Cola, we have 5 shares at $50 per share. Let's say we have Realty Income, stock ticker O, and we have 10 shares at an average price of $75. Let's say that we bought Vici Properties and we bought about 20 shares at an average price of, we'll say, $29 per share. So now we've entered 4 positions and all the data is automatically loaded in. We can see everything seems to be working properly. And if we jump over to our investment dashboard, let's go ahead and zoom out just a little bit. We can see everything seems to be reflecting properly. So far, so good. But let's say we want to do something unique. Say there's an international stock we decide that we want to add to our portfolio. Now, most portfolio tracking tools can't account for international stocks, and they also can't account for currency conversions, but Tickerdata can do both of those things. So let's go ahead and jump back over to Tickerdata.com. And if we come up here to Docs and scroll down and click on Tickerdata Exchanges, you can see a full list of all the exchanges that Tickerdata can pull stocks from. There's over 70 exchanges, and it's pretty much all the major exchanges all across the world. You can see it's a pretty extensive list. So let's go ahead and pick an international stock that we want to add to our portfolio as an example. So let's scroll down and let's say we find a stock from maybe Greece, for example, the Athens Stock Exchange. We bought a stock and we'll do the example ticker right here, ELHA. So what we can do is we can jump over to our stocks tab, come over here and plug in EHLA, and that's the stock. But because this is an international stock, what we're going to do is add the exchange extension to it. So for example, again, we're buying a stock from Greece, the Athens Stock Exchange. The extension is .AT. So all we have to do at the end of this ticker is apply .AT and hit enter. We'll say we bought around 5 shares at a purchase price of maybe $1.80 per share. And again, you can see all this data will automatically load in. Now, here's where some people make a mistake. We want to see all of our portfolio in the same currency. Now, Tickerdata can account for this. Zoom out just a little bit more, you can see right here, we can select the currency that we want to see our portfolio in. So if we want to see our entire portfolio in euros, we could just type that in up here and hit enter, and you can see all this data is going to automatically update. Now, there's an important piece on the instructions tab that you have to understand. It says, insert your purchase price in the currency that you plan on viewing your portfolio in. So if we jump back over to the stocks tab, let's say I bought this stock and I want to see my portfolio in USD, but that stock doesn't always trade in USD. How can we know what our purchase price is in USD? Well, one of the features added to this spreadsheet is a currency converter. So if we come over here, let's go ahead and zoom in. This is a very simple, straightforward tool within the spreadsheet. We'll say we bought a stock in euros and our purchase price in euros was maybe around $10. Again, we can see in USD, our average purchase price would be $10.27. So all we would do is go back over to the stocks tab and insert our purchase price right there. So it's pretty straightforward and allows you to look at stocks in your portfolio from all across the world in the same currency. Again, this is a very powerful tool within the spreadsheet. So now we have some example data. We've used the stocks tab and we've looked at currency converters and how to apply international stocks into our portfolio. So let's start touching on some of the other features. Start off, let's go ahead and look at our crypto tab. This is again pretty simple. We only have to plug in the coin we bought, the amount bought, and our purchase price. So the obvious example, we'll use Bitcoin. Let's say we purchased maybe 0.005 Bitcoins at a purchase price of about $80,000 a coin. I'll hit enter and you can see again, all this data will automatically load in. We can see our market value, our gain loss, and our gain loss as a percentage. And what's cool is if we jump over to our investment dashboard, we can see just our stocks broken out right here, just our crypto broken out right here, but we can see everything accounted for right here. It's combining our stocks and crypto. And if we look at our allocation, we can see our cash position, our stocks, and our crypto position. And we can even see our crypto listed on our cost to market value and on our growth chart. Now, one thing I do want to point out is our cash position. If we jump back over to the stocks tab, what you want to do is also enter the cash position that you're currently sitting on in your portfolio. So if your cash position is currently about $1,000, you'll just type that in there and hit enter, and you can see your investment dashboard allocation will automatically update. Now, if we come down to total holdings, you can see it's now sitting at 6 because it's accounting for all the stocks in our portfolio as well as the crypto that is also in our portfolio. So again, crypto is pretty straightforward. It's another very simple process. Now, if we jump over to our dividend dashboard, this is where we have to talk about a few more things. Most of this entire process, again, is completely automated. We can see the dividend income by industry. We can see 4 key metrics right here, like expected yearly dividend income, all-time dividend income, average monthly dividends, and portfolio dividend yield on cost, dividend income by each individual stock, and then we can see our dividend income by industry, yield on cost. But what you will notice is portfolio value over time, historical monthly dividend income, and projected annual dividend income probably doesn't look right. And that's because we haven't updated this section yet. What we need to do is jump over to our dividend/portfolio recording tab, and you can see there is example data right here. And this is data that we have to remove to get started. So we're going to remove this and delete this section out. We're going to do the same for this data here, and then we're going to remove the data right here. So let's go ahead and get started on this section. Now, something that's really important to remember is the formatting when we plug in dates and months. If you don't do the correct formatting, the data might not load in. And here's how you can always know the correct format. If you just jump over to the dividend calendar, you can see the way that months are listed right here. That's how you're going to want to input it into your portfolio. So let's go ahead and jump over to our dividend/portfolio recording tab. And it's very simple. Just once a month, you're going to plug in the dividend payments you receive, the current portfolio value, and your projected annual dividend income. So for example, let's say on January 1st, we're going to go ahead and type in January, and we'll say the year is 2025. So I'll type in 2025 this way, and we'll say Vici Properties paid me dividends. They paid me $5. And again, it was on January 1st. I'll do 1/1/25 and hit enter. Now, if we jump back over to our dividend dashboard, you can see here, we don't have data here yet because we haven't plugged in our portfolio data, but we do have our historical monthly dividend income, and it's $5 in January. So let's go ahead and plug in some more example data here. We'll go ahead and say, we'll add a few more dividend payments to January. We'll say that Coca-Cola paid us $3 on January 15th of 25. And then we'll say that Apple stock paid us $2.50 on January 25th. So now we have some example data. Let's go ahead and plug in some portfolio data. So I just plugged in some example data, and then we want to plug in our projected annual dividend income. So again, I'll put in some example data. Now, when it comes to plugging in your projected annual dividend income at the end of each month, all you have to do is jump over to your dividend dashboard, and the sheet's going to tell you what it is. Right here, we can see it's $85. So if we jump back over to our dividend/portfolio recording tab, I'll just plug in 85 right here. So now we have some example data. Let's jump back over to our dividend dashboard and zoom out and see how it's looking. If we go ahead and zoom out just a little bit, we can see right here, we now have some data points. And as you plug in more data, this chart will load in. we have a single data point because we only have 1 month of dividend income in January, but as you plug in more months, again, you're going to see this charted out. And then we have our projected annual dividend income. We can see it grow over the past 3 months. And we can see each position with our dividend yield on cost and dividend income by industry. So again, pretty straightforward process for the dividend dashboard. Now what's cool about all this is once you plugged in that other data, everything on the dividend calendar is going to automatically load in. So we can see here, our dividend payments with the dividend calendar have already loaded in for these individual stocks. And if we jump over to our daily dividend calendar, we can see the exact days that we plugged in and how much we received in dividend income on those days. We can see what our highest day for the year is, and we can also see our 2024 total dividends. So that's pretty much all it takes to get these first 4 main parts of the spreadsheet working. There's really not too much to it thanks to the help of Tickerdata. Now the spreadsheet has some other pretty useful features as well, and they're pretty simple. For example, we have our sold positions tab. If let's say that I sell AT&T stock, I'll just plug in the stock ticker. We'll say I bought 10 shares at a purchase price of $15 and sold at $16. All this data again will load in, total amount bought, total amount sold, my gain as a percent and dollar amount, and this will be accounted for in our investment dashboard as well. So for example, you can see right here we have realized gains. That's going to be stocks that we've sold out of, and it's also going to be applied to our total gain / total loss. So very straightforward there. But then one of our other really cool features is actually going to be the stock watch list. And let me show you why. Now, if we zoom in, we can see we're getting an error on a couple of these. So let's just go ahead and refresh the sheet once again. We'll come up here and click on refresh, and all this data will automatically load in. So you can add and remove stocks from the watch list here pretty easily. So if we come up here, let's add a stock to our watch list. Let's say Microsoft is on our watch list. I'll hit enter right here, and you can see all this data is going to automatically load in. Now, if you're doing stock analysis on these different stocks, you're probably going to come to a point at which you think you know at where you would want to buy the stock or what you think the intrinsic value is. So let's say we think the intrinsic value for Microsoft is $450 per share. I'll hit enter. What we can see is we're currently getting a buy signal stating that we should buy the stock because our intrinsic value is above the current share price. But as value investors, we always want to apply a margin of safety. So what's cool is once you add a bunch of different stocks to your sheet, you can come up here and apply your margin of safety and then see what you're getting a buy signal for. So again, we'll come up here and add a few more. Let's say Apple, Coca-Cola, and AT&T stock. We'll say Apple, our buy price is maybe about $240 a share. We'll say Coca-Cola, our buy price is about $75 per share. And then we'll say AT&T, our buy price is around $25 per share. So as of right now, we're only getting a buy signal for 3 of these because the intrinsic value is above their current share price. That's not true for Apple. But if we apply a 5% margin of safety, you can see our new buy price with a margin of safety. If we make it 10%, all of a sudden, you can see 2 stocks are removed as a buy signal because they no longer, with the margin of safety, fall within our buy range. So in this case, with a 10% margin of safety, Coca-Cola is the only stock we would want to consider adding to our portfolio. So this is a really cool way to see which stocks are currently within your buy range. It's a great way to keep up with all the stocks you're interested in and how they're trading. Now, on the back end of this, we have a few different very cool tools, and it's all designed to know how much your portfolio is going to grow, what your cost of living will look like, and when you'll be able to live off dividends if you are a dividend investor. So if we jump over to our portfolio projection tab, here's what we can see. We have a few different variables that are going to help us project out into the future what our portfolio will look like up to 30 years in the future. So let's talk about these variables and what they mean and how to use it. So to start off, all you want to do is plug in your current starting portfolio size. So maybe it's about $5,000. You can jump over to your investment dashboard and see what it is and just plug it in. Now, a lot of people get tripped up looking at the starting share price, but just leave this as 100. It's only there to be able to run the model. But then over here, we have our contribution, and then we want to select either monthly or lump sum. If you're making a one-time lump sum contribution, you can simply select the drop-down arrow and come over here and click on lump sum and then plug in the amount. But for the vast majority of us, we plan on making monthly contributions. So you're going to select monthly and then come over here and plug in your monthly contribution. So maybe in this example, it's about $1,000. I'll hit enter. And then what we want to do is plug in the starting dividend yield for our current portfolio. So maybe in this example, it's about 3%. And then we want to plug in a price growth rate and a dividend growth rate. These are just growth rate projections that you're going to have to decide on your own. If you're someone who's a high yield investor, then maybe you expect a lower dividend growth rate. But if you're someone seeking out more growth, more dividend growth, maybe you expect a higher dividend growth rate. So in this example, we'll go with 7% price growth and 7% dividend growth. And once we plugged in all these different factors, again, our model is going to automatically update. And next, we're going to jump over to our cost of living. All we need to do to chart this out and get all this data to fill in, to zoom out just a little bit, we just need to plug in our monthly cost of living, which maybe we'll say it's $3,500 in the scenario, and maybe we expect the average inflation rate to be about 2.5%. So you can see how your cost of living is going to change over the years and what it'll be at the end of your 30-year time period. And once you've done all that, you can jump over to your live off dividends analysis and see how long it'll take you to achieve your long-term goal of living off dividends. And you can also see how your portfolio is going to change over time. So for example, let's zoom in just a little bit and scroll down. What we can see is in about 10 years, we can see all these different metrics for how our portfolio will look. We can see our monthly cost of living, how much we'll be making in monthly dividend income, what our total contribution would have been, the total amount we've received in dividends, and what our account value would be. So it becomes very easy to see at which point you can live off dividends, and we can see it visually pretty easily with this chart as well, which is a very handy tool. So let's go ahead and zoom out just a little bit more and jump back over to our investment dashboard. Now, the last thing I want to point out is if we jump over to instructions, you can see some pretty helpful reminders such as what to do if you get errors on the spreadsheet. It tells you to make a copy to be able to edit the spreadsheet. It also tells you to enter the purchase price in the currency that you plan on viewing your portfolio in. It tells you how to enter your crypto holdings, tells you what to do with the example data, not to delete anything. Then of course, there's going to be a tutorial video linked here, and it tells you how to insert your months in the correct format so that everything automatically loads in. So overall, it's a very straightforward automated tool that can provide some phenomenal insights into your portfolio. We have even more spreadsheets and updates to this spreadsheet planned in the near future, so be sure to stay tuned. And like always, if you'd like to get access to the Tickerdata add-on on Google Sheets that allows you to automatically import stock financials straight into your spreadsheet and also get access to the library of premium sheets over on Tickerdata.com, then you can head over to Tickerdata.com and become a premium member. So with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.